In today's show, we're going from 50 to 75, and we're talking about all of the milestone ages to pay attention to from a financial standpoint. You want to put more tax-free money away? There's an age for that. Social Security? There's an age. Actually, multiple ages for that. Access to your money penalty-free? There's an age for that. Being forced to take taxable income from your accounts? Oh, wait a second. We really don't want that. But guess what? There's an age for that too. So stick around. We're going to go through all of the ages, talk to you about why they're important, and then strategies that you might want to think about in regards to these ages.
Welcome to the Your Life, Your Money podcast with Scott Sierens, teaching you how to thrive in life, wealth, and retirement.
Welcome into the Retirement Show, all about your life, your money, and your taxes. I'm your host, Scott Sierens, and my goal is to help you thrive in life, wealth, and retirement. Folks, I'm in my early 40s. I am 41, but to me, age is, I guess it's just a number. Like, I've always looked at it as just a number. But you know what I have noticed is, like, sometimes the older we get, then we hit this certain number where we don't want to say our age anymore, right? It's like, oh, well, we kind of just don't want to say it. I'm 55 or I'm 60. And what else would I say? Probably that age where you just don't want to pay attention to your age either, right? Just paying attention to your health and enjoying life and everything like that. But then what's interesting to me, maybe you've seen the same, maybe not, but then it seems like people get back to this age where they like to say their number again. So like right now, I don't mind saying it. Then you get to an age where it's like, but then you get back to an age, maybe where you like saying it again. For example, before she had passed, my grandmother, she loved telling people about all of the different birthdays and when she was in her 90s. I mean, I'm 90 years old, and I guess that was like really interesting. It almost became excitement again for her to tell people her age and to see that pride come back out in that number. So anyways, I know I'm going down a tangent here, but why do I bring age up? Well, age to me is more than a number. And there's a lot of financial reasons that you don't want to necessarily hide your age. And that's what we're going to talk about today is the ages that you should pay attention to from a financial standpoint, as some of these ages can help you save for retirement, more money than you could otherwise. Some of the ages could potentially help you from a tax standpoint. Some of the ages could help you from a tax deduction, charitable gifting standpoint. Some ages you need to pay attention to because they're going to start to cause some surprises, maybe from a tax standpoint in your retirement. And so age is more than just a number. It's also got some financial meaning behind it as well. So let's talk about that. I'm going to start low here, and then we'll work our way up to the higher numbers. Maybe you've heard some conversation about this before, but we do have some new ones in today as far as ages that you should be listening to with the passing of the Secure Act 2.0. We're going to see some changes coming up. So I'm going to give you some changes that you're going to see, not next year, but in 2025, what that's going to look at. Okay, so let's start with the first one here, age 50. Well, at age 50 and over, you can actually put more money into your retirement plan. So if you've got a 401k, 403b, 457, you can put more money into those retirement plans at age 50 and over. For example, this year, 2023, if you're under age 50, you can only put $22,500 into those retirement plans. If you're over age 50, you can put up to $30,000 into those retirement plans. That's $7,500 more that you can save for your retirement. On top of that, the IRAs, Roth IRAs, you can put into those an additional $1,000 more, again, if you're age 50 plus. So whatever the base amount for the Roth IRA is or regular IRA, you can put in an additional $1,000 for those of you that are age 50 plus. Now, some things to understand here is you don't want to always assume that your company is doing this for you or that they're making it happen. It all comes down to the actions that you take when it comes to these items, meaning you want to make sure that if you're able to save more money, that you're putting it in. That could mean that you have to increase the percentage of contribution that you're putting into your 401k, or increase the amount that you're making as a monthly contribution to your IRA or to your Roth IRA. And also, don't ever assume that your 401k plan provider, that they're just going to max out your 401k for you. That's something that you need to make sure that's happening on your end. So with all of these, I want to kind of talk about some strategies, some actions, ways that you can utilize these ages to benefit you some more. So first off, with this one, age 50, maybe you need to save more to hit your retirement targets and retirement goals. If so, this is giving you a way to do it where either your money is going to grow tax-free because you put it into a Roth, or it's going to grow tax-deferred because you put it into the 401k. But it helps you either get that tax deduction today, or more of a tax deduction today that you need, or grow your money tax-free for your future. So that's something that you could think about this as well. And as I mentioned from that Roth story. So for instance, share a quick story with you. Have a client that they're in a pretty high tax bracket today. Once they went into their 50s, we were utilizing this to help them get a greater tax deduction today. And then we'll do some tax strategies later on to help them reduce what they're deferring today. Now, another client who's already got a pretty good healthy chunk in their IRAs and 401ks, we're seeing that their taxable income could potentially be higher in their future. So they're using this age 50 catch-up contribution as a way to put more money into their Roth 401ks, $7,500 more that they're going to get into that Roth 401k. So now they've got more tax-free money growing for their future. So a lot of different ways here that you can use the age 50, but just keep that in mind. Again, you're the one who's going to have to take action on this to either increase your contribution, increase your percentage, if you can go more than what you're doing today. All right, moving forward here, age 55. That's the rule of 55. Age 55, you can use the rule of 55. So typically, if you're to take money out of your IRA, 401k, 403b, 457, and you did it before age 59 and a half, well, then you're going to have a 10% penalty for taking an early withdrawal from that account. Now, there is an exception to this, and that's called the rule of 55 that we're talking about here. So what that means, let's just say you do plan to retire early, and you're like, oh man, all of my money's in my 401k. How am I going to get this money out without a penalty? Well, the job that if you leave the job, you leave your current job after turning 55, you can take withdrawals from that specific 401k. Again, if you leave your job after age 55, you can take withdrawals from that current job without penalty. Now, one thing to be really noticeable about here, it's only applies to the job that you just left. To share a quick story with you, I have a client that's retiring early, and we made calls on both of their 401ks. They're over the age of 55, and I want you to be really careful with this rule. So if you're listening and you're younger than 55 and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to use the rule of 55, or if you are 55 and older and you think you're going to use this, be really careful. So one of the companies actually allowed to do monthly withdrawals, just like we would do if you were over age 59 and a half and taking out money. The other company said, we'll allow you to take a withdrawal, but it's one lump sum. That's it. You can't do monthly. You don't get multiple tries. You can't do this month and then a year from now, one lump sum. That was how they would allow that person to do the rule of 55. Folks, that didn't make any sense because that would skyrocket them up into another tax bracket. So have to be really careful when it comes to utilizing the rule of 55. Make sure you fully understand your plan. But if you need access to your 401k money prior to age 59 and a half, you've retired, again, you can take it from the job you just retired from. but check with the plan details to make sure you're not putting yourself into a tax situation. All right, our next age here, I'm guessing you already know it, age 59 and a half. That's an age that a lot of retirees have on their minds because that's when you can start taking those penalty-free withdrawals from those qualified retirement accounts, such as 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, 457s, Roth 401ks, Roth IRAs. Now, don't forget, right, you're still going to owe income tax if it's on those qualified plans. So meaning the 401ks, 403bs, 457s, IRAs, traditional IRAs, you're still going to owe income tax on every dollar that you take out of those. But after age 59 and a half, you're not going to have that early withdrawal penalty. Now, the other thing here, so why is that? Why is age 59 and a half important here? Strategies, thoughts, why is it important? Well, first off, allows a lot of people at age 59 and a half and afterwards to start using their retirement money to retire, to make withdrawals from, to start cutting their own retirement paychecks if they're retiring at that age. The other thing is if you need money, once you've hit that age, you can actually start making withdrawals from those accounts without any sort of penalty. Now, there's actually another rule that you can potentially start utilizing at age 59 and a half. We've helped a lot of people with this too, and what it's called is an in-service withdrawal. A lot of times at age 59 and a half, your companies will start allowing you to make withdrawals from your retirement accounts, those 401ks, 403bs, 457 accounts, but called in-service withdrawals. What does that mean? Well, an in-service withdrawal means you're going to take it out of the 401k and roll it in to an IRA. Why would you want to do that? Well, maybe it allows you then to start taking control of your money, to start building your own retirement plan with the funds that you want to use, with the plan that you want to use versus what might be in your 401k. Now, it's a whole IRA versus 401k, should you roll over or not, that's a whole different conversation. But today, just talking about the ages and ways that you can utilize your age. Again, age 59 and a half, might be able to take that in-service withdrawal, roll your money out into an IRA, start building your plan the way you want to. All right, what do we have next on the list? This next one here is the new one we're going to add to the list. Now, just getting started on this one, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of clarification that's going to come up over the next couple years, but from age 60 to 63, so this just isn't one age, we have multiple here. Age 60 to 63, the Secure Act 2.0, and this starts in 2025, has what's called increased catch-up contributions. So wait a second, age 50, we talked about catch-up contributions. Age 60 will now have increased catch-up contributions. And it's going to be the greater of $10,000 or 150% of the regular catch-up contribution. I'll just say that one more time. Greater of $10,000 or 150% of the regular catch-up contributions. Why this only goes from age 60 to age 63, I don't know. Ask Congress on that one. But again, that one doesn't start until 2025. Just wanted to give you kind of a heads up on that. All right. Our next ages here, I'm going to actually do 3 of them all at the same time. I'm guessing you might know what's coming next because it's all about Social Security. Those are the ages that are coming next. We've got age 62. That's a Social Security age, the earliest age that you can start claiming benefits. Then you have your full retirement age, and then age 70, again with Social Security, which is the age that you would get the maximum benefit amount. So we got 62, and then I said full retirement age. Now, full retirement age is all based upon when you were born. Full retirement age is when you get that primary insurance amount. That's the amount that you see on your Social Security statement saying, hey, if you're to retire at full retirement age, here's your primary insurance amount. The reason I bring primary insurance amount up is because everything in Social Security is based on that primary insurance amount. If you're to wait, it's 8% bumps on that. If you're to take earlier, it's 8% it's reductions based on that as well. And so here's full retirement age. I want to give you this. If you were born 1943 through 1954, your full retirement age is age 66. If you were between 1954 and 1960, well, then your full retirement age is going to be like 66 in so many months. That's one you probably just want to go to Google, look it up. I mean, I could go through them all, but I'm not going to bore you here on the podcast. Just know 1954 through 1960, your full retirement age is going to be 66, and it could be 66 in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. I'm guessing you kind of gather the point there. And then 1960 or after. So if you were born 1960 or after, your full retirement age is age 67. All right. Well, why is this and are these ages important? Well, this can make up, Social Security. Social Security can make up a huge portion of your retirement income, and what you do with Social Security and the decisions that you make around these ages can be really important to your future. And so we're not going to go into when you should take Social Security and why, but I am going to talk about kind of the difference in these different ages here. So age 62, the earliest that you can take Social Security, but just remember, please remember, this will be a reduced amount. And if you take Social Security before your full retirement age and you're still working, there's what's called an earnings limit. You make past that earnings limit, then you could also be getting potentially reductions then from your Social Security. So if you make more than the earnings limit, you're working, make more than the earnings limit, and collecting Social Security, there could be a reduction on your Social Security. Next, full retirement age, we talked about that. That's when you get your primary insurance amount. And then age 70, that's the maximum benefit that you can get. Now, full retirement age to age 70, each and every year you wait, you get that 8% bump. Folks, you can take it any month between age 62 and age 70. You want to take it age 68 and 9 months? Well, guess what? You can do that. You want to take it age 64 and 7 months? You can do that as well. It's all going to be prorated based on that primary insurance amount. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, since we're on ages and we're talking about retirement, a lot of times meeting with new people, when asking them, what they want their retirement story to look like, they'll say, okay, well, I plan to retire at full retirement age, or I plan to retire at 62, or I plan to retire at 70 so I can start then taking Social Security. Hear me out here. There is no tie between when you have to take Social Security and when you retire, or when you retire and when you have to take Social Security. You can do them at totally separate times. We do this all the time for clients, and it's called bridging the gap in retirement, meaning making sure that you've got your retirement portfolio set up so you can take withdrawals from your retirement portfolio to then help your Social Security grow if you want to delay it. Again, whole nother topic and subject that we can talk about, but those do not have to be the same age. So if Social Security is on your mind, you're wondering when to take it, how to optimize that benefit. You've probably heard on the show before, but if this is your first time joining us, we do have a Social Security guide, a free guide to helping you optimize your Social Security benefit. You can get that at lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. Again, lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. We just hope that there's information in there that's going to help you optimize your benefit by hundreds or thousands of dollars. Again, lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. All right, our next age of importance. All in these maybe years where we don't want to talk about ages, but they are all important, and here's why. Age 65, that's the age where you can start to be on Medicare. Now, you don't have to go on Medicare at age 65. Well, there's some parts that you want to go on. We'll get Christy on the podcast again to kind of talk about why and why not you would want to go on certain parts. But, if you're working for a company and you're going to work till age 67 or 68, you might want to stay on their health insurance. But age 65 is when you can go on Medicare, which is the federal government's health insurance for those that are age 65 plus. Part A, there's different parts to Medicare. So Part A is hospital insurance. Part B, medical insurance. Part C, that's Medicare Advantage. That's for, a voluntary part. And then Part D is the prescription drugs. Why is this important? Well, again, if you're working, most likely you're on your company's health insurance, but then when you retire, If you retire before 65, something I want you to keep in mind is that you're going to need health insurance. And health insurance is costly. It can be very expensive. Being a business owner, take my word for that, it's expensive. So if you're going to retire before age 65, before you can get on Medicare here, make sure that you've got a health insurance plan and make sure it's incorporated into your plan. At 65, well then guess what? If you retire, if you leave your company, you can go right on to Medicare. Now, note this, it's not free. There are parts of it that are basically free or included, but Medicare, for instance, Parts B, you're going to have a deduction or an amount that you have to pay. Part D, there could be a premium with your prescription drug plan. So just understand that there are costs with Medicare. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm leaving my company, I'm going to go to this free health insurance by the government. That's not the case. We make sure when we're creating plans for retirees that we're including what those Medicare costs could be. So anyways, the overall goal here was to share with you ages that will have an impact in your life. Age 65, that's when you can go on Medicare. All right, so let's see. We've talked about 65. We've really talked about Social Security, which would hit the full retirement age 70. So the next one I have on my list here is age 70 and a half. Age 70 and a half is when you can still make those qualified charitable distributions. You know, it used to be the required minimum distribution age, and those two kind of aligned, but no longer is the required minimum distribution age 70 and a half. We're going to talk about that in a second. It's now a little bit later, but age 70 and a half, if you're giving to a charitable organization and you're age 70 and a half or older, you might really want to consider the qualified charitable distributions. A lot of times people are not making enough charitable contributions to be able to itemize their taxes. You see, the standard deductions are a lot higher now. So another way that you can give to a charitable organization, which is a great thing to do, but also get the deduction for doing it, is by using the QCD process here, where you give directly from your IRA to that charitable organization. I tell you what, I've got some great videos on this, and if you want to see those, you can go to our YouTube channel, or you go to lifemoneyshow.com, click on the videos section, type in qualified charitable distribution, it'll find it for you, and we've got some great videos that you can watch on that. So QCDs at age 70 and a half, and then our final ages that we have here. That's right, I said ages because they all get grouped together with one category called required minimum distributions. This one can have a huge impact on your lives. This is where the government is going to start to force you to take income out of your IRAs, your 401ks, your 403bs, 457 plans. And yes, that's right, forced, because if you don't, there's a penalty that you would incur for failing to take your required minimum distribution. So it's something that you want to do. Now, here's what we have as far as RMD ages. If you were born 1950 or earlier, your required minimum distribution age would have been 72. 1951, and actually 70 and a half for some of those that were already in their 70s way before 2020. But anyways, the people that were 70 and a half through 73, they're already taking the required minimum distribution. So if you were already taking it, you have to keep taking them. Again, 1950 or earlier and you weren't taking them, 72. 1951, if you're born 1951 through 1959, now your required minimum distribution age is age 73. That's when you have to start taking them. And then 1960 or later, your required minimum distribution age is age 75. Here's why this comes into play in your retirement. One, you have to start taking the income out of the account. You might look at these and go, I don't need all of that income that they're making me take out of my account. Well, make sure you take it. Otherwise, like I mentioned earlier, you might get penalized. The other thing is you want to know these ages because you might be able to do some tax strategies called Roth conversions. With that, as compliance likes me to say, make sure you talk to your tax professional and your financial professional before you just go out and start doing Roth conversions. But know these ages, because you might be able to start doing Roth conversions before you get to these ages, which will then help you lower your required minimum distributions and lower your tax consequences that you might have in retirement. So there we go. That's it. We started at age 50. We get through age 75. Those were all of the financial ages that could have an impact on your lives pre-retirement and during retirement. So I hope that you found those to be of value and benefit. As I had mentioned earlier, if you're not yet taking Social Security, that's on your mind. How do you make that decision? Which age is best? Which one's going to be the best one for your future? We have a free guide for you that you can get at lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. Hey, I look forward to our next conversation, to helping you enjoy life today and being financially confident about your retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Sierens Financial Management, Inc. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Sierens Financial Management, Inc. are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Sierens Financial Group, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as a sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences, including, but not limited to, a need for additional tax withholding or estimated tax payments, the loss of certain tax deductions and credits, and higher taxes on Social Security benefits and higher Medicare premiums. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Sierens Financial Group, Inc.